Hey yard miners, I'm going to be going over a vintage gold fingers, the dull stuff, the good stuff, that good that everyone wants. And I'm going to be talking about recent eBay sales and trends in the market. So once again, it's best enjoyed at 1.2 or 1.5 speed. All right, let's get started. All right, wanted to share with y'all. We've been moving. We lost our lease at our building, so we're kind of going back to Barnabas full circle. And now that I'm here more, I can film more. And so what I'm doing is these old dull gold fingers. They're not clean cut because, you know, I'm going to be very honest about it in my listing. I'm taking basically a C-wrench, that's what I call this thing, and just cracking it off. I think it's faster than cutting on a bandsaw, which is what I've done. You know, I had this bandsaw going. The dust was horrible. The noise was horrible. Full mask, you know, everything. So basically, I have a buyer that buys vintage slot cards, and really they don't care as long as some gold fingers are on it. So when it has kind of two finger areas that are divisible, I'll pop them off. Or if I just want to take it all, because I like the card or I like the thing, I'll just put it in low grade. I am only doing this right now with vintage slot cards because I only have a buyer for the vintage slot cards. I think they're going after the gold in the flat pack. So I'm just taking off a couple things. I know that these have great, these red switches have great gold balls in them. And it's kind of keep these in here. Xbox motherboards have one gold ball as well, so I kind of keep my gold balls in here. I'm not going to break it all down. It is kind of, well, you know what, let's go ahead and do that so you can see it. Not all of them are created the same. I just did a red switch, and it was one of these long ones. It was pretty tough. So what I usually do is I just kind of pop open a side and kind of see what I'm dealing with here. Mostly it's white plastic holding down the gold-plated spheres, balls. There's a nice little running joke in the eWaste Facebook group about having great balls. So the plastic is layered, almost like a cake. And I want to see if I can just get this red off the front, but it's kind of crumbling. Again, it is vintage, so it's a little brittle. Sometimes they peel off all nicely in a row. Nice little tool that I always have nearby is a precision flathead rubber grip. Smaller, I think it's like a 6-inch or a 5-inch. It's great. Okay, so you can see they look like piano keys, and underneath this guy, underneath this should be the ball. And you know, it looks like this vintage one only has the teeth. Yeah, so this one was ballless, but those are still really good gold pins, and I put them in my gold pin bucket, and then I sell my gold pin related material by the pound on eBay, and depending on obviously gold price. So that was a little bit of a hassle for not really a whole lot of payoff. It didn't have the balls on it. So that dip switch, I'm gonna pay attention to that shape and probably not take it off next time. So I've left this, and I've left this middle flat pack. I know that these have names on it, or this has a name where it has 4 sides and it's in a plastic like that. I just don't remember it. So I'm gonna put that in my vintage one and kind of continue the process. Here's what I'm talking about the two. Again, my buyer knows that I'm taking some off. I'm not trying to run anything by him. So I'm gonna take the big one, came off in pieces, and that's fine. Again, I'm going to take very detailed pictures of my eBay listing. Still has one gold into the vintage pile. This is kind of on the border of vintage. It is technically vintage because of this guy. I really look for the long ones, but if it just had this, I don't know if I'd use it. Also, they're a little shinier, the gold. I really try to go after the dull ones. And there's also indicators right here. It says made in China. So probably not the best quality gold on that one. I'm just going to take one, and then the rest of them are going to go into the vintage boards. Same with this. This is a vintage board for sure, but it does have the kind of that shiny sheen gold, but it does have two. So I'm going to go for the big one, and break it off, clean as I can, and then the boards. We've got one long one here. It's got a nice little gap in the middle, and it doesn't have a whole lot on the back. It is dull, very dull gold, so I'm gonna take it. It's compact, and I'm just gonna. The dull gold I think is worth, as far as what I've seen when gold price is above 1,700 per ounce, US dollars. The lots go really well, so that's just gonna admit. Okay, so this is a 1989. You see it on here. It's just kind of past the nice gold dull teeth. I am going to take the 1996. That's interesting. Intel switch. EPRON. I don't know. I don't know all the words. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the whole thing. And know what? I'm going to leave the small one. All right, so I'm basically just pulling from this pile that's been accumulating. This is a really nice slot card. It looks like it's telephone. It's not even Ethernet. Dial Logic Corp. Wow. Back for when you had to have dial-up. It's got two rows. There's probably some good stuff under there. Again, I'm going to leave it because of the weight of the steel screws and everything. I'm basically just going to leave it as is, other than taking off this row of gold because I've got this small roll of gold. And to qualify, again, I only need one little bit of gold teeth on it, and so that gets it. It does say I-486 on here. It's a flat pack, and it's got some nice gold colored BGAs. It does have two of the flat packs, so I'm going to take one because I'm very, very curious. Usually when I see I-486, it's a big old ceramic CPU. I'm gonna take one of those for the road, and that's going in to the vintage golds. This is a really nice one. Again, it's a nice double pack or double stack. This one isn't metal screws, so I'm gonna kind of see if I can get them undone here. It looks like it's just little plastic clips holding everything in. Probably need probably some pins. Yep, just some pins. So nice, came apart very nicely. This one does not have any gold fingers, so I'm going to keep that into the high grade boards. It does have a dip switch. I'm not going to worry about taking it off. It's got those nice kind of rubber dipped tantalum capacitors, those vintage ones that you look for. It's a really good looking board, at least on one side. For this guy, you can see it's got RAM mounted on it. So this card, 1985. This card probably was a fortune when it came out new. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the RAM on. Although RAM prices are really good right now, but it's only when they have the gold RAM, the fingers on it. It says AT&T on it as well. So this is a really interesting board. I'm going to take both gold fingers off of it because it's very, very dull. And I'm going to still put it in my high grade boards. I think that will definitely qualify for high grade. All right, let's see what dump this out. I've been selling large lots of vintage boards on eBay, and they've been going for the minimum that I would take them for. So $5 a pound for vintage slot cards without heat sinks, but with the brackets. That's as low as I'll go on those, and that's what they sold for on eBay. I'm going to try something new with just the teeth, and I'm going to still sell a lot of these to my buyer that buys in bulk. But I thought I would really do a lot better with the gold, the price of gold going up. You know, because you get like probably 20%, you know, that might be rounding up a little bit, but 20% of eBay. We pay for our store, so you know, we get a little bit better rates, but depending on what category it falls in, there's different percentages. Again, I'm going to take this guy off. I mean, the amount of weight that it adds to it is not a whole lot, and I sell those in big lots. Again, it's got that plastic covered on all sides, and it's got 2 things of fingers. I'm going to take the big one. I've had quite a few buyers contact me in the last 2 weeks, 2-week window. You know, we get a call at least once a week from people wanting to buy our stuff. We're getting 1 to 2 calls a day right now. You know, I always kind of track things seasonally. Again, this had a very small teeth on the bottom, so I'm gonna leave those teeth. I chart everything, you know, and when the sun comes out and during spring break build up, and I try to find patterns in not only just the market, you know, value of commodities, but I try to also find patterns with people. And I tell you what, March has been just slammed. We had 1 cold day or 2 that was pretty slow, and we've had just nice sunny, no mosquitoes, no like oppressive humidity. It's been perfect, and we filled up storage units full of stuff, and I'm not kidding you, full, like to the brim, can't walk in it. We've had almost going on 3 weeks of 2. We have a contract with a municipality, and we usually only get a half a van's worth, cargo van, high ceilings worth, and we have gotten 2 every week for the last, we're going on 3 weeks now. 2 full, like to the brim, don't have room for anything else. So it's very interesting, kind of the Ides of March and March Madness and spring cleaning and spring break, and a lot of things, you know, go into it. And obviously, you know, March in Antarctica is much different than March in Tennessee. But I've definitely taken note about prepping for having a extra pair of hands. I hire you know, some high school kids part-time that need some work, so I make sure that they're around and available, because you know, January, February, ooh, slow. I like this flat pack cylinders, and I'm taking it off. I've always liked that logo. It's just one of those little things. It's got a transformer on it, a little copper coil, so it's going to have some nice weight to it. It's also got a 3-legged capacitor that has gold legs on it. So I'm going to sell this with my vintage boards without gold, because they do have really nice dull, but I'm not going to take anything else off of it. Okay. And how I kind of categorize for my eBay, I really am, let me get this done real quick. Pause and cut. All right, got my gloves on, took care of my payment request. Nice vintage board. 2, I really need to figure out what these EPROM chips are called, but the double-sided, looks like little centipedes. I have about 50-pound bin of these guys. About to, again, put on eBay. 2 things of dull gold. I will take the large one. And I've got a buyer from Canada coming down and buying my whole lot of vintage computers that we've been saving. I got over 100 vintage desktops and vintage testing equipment, and they are coming down. I can't remember from what area, but it's an all-day drive basically. You know, they're gonna bring a trailer and go through customs and all the fun stuff. But yeah, I've got a huge vintage lot up right now. It's on eBay. It's like for, I think, almost 4,000. But apparently there's some really good ones in there that some people want. So I really like going through the old stuff also, because I kind of get to see how things were made and how much compact and smaller things are. But before I had to take that call, I was talking about trends in the market and things like that. So, you know, there's this doom and gloom, at least in the United States, kind of a pending kind of economic crisis. There's been some bank foreclosures and all of these things. You know, it's getting a little bit more expensive to borrow money, and when it's expensive to borrow money, there's less projects. Windows TV, nice. It's kind of rusty and nasty, but I'm going to leave these guys on because it weighs a good amount, and there's actually 3 here. So I'm just going to take the middle one. Yeah, you know, I'm heavily invested in crypto, and I kind of see I understand the value of the software that is Bitcoin and Ethereum. I don't really mess around too much with kind of the other chains, just because you know, Bitcoin is kind of proven king, and you know, it's volatile just like any asset if you zoom out far enough. But you know, I have a little bit of a chuckle when banks fail, but you know, it's not great for people as far as not being able to have payroll or pay the bills, and when they lose money. I just, you know, just banks are so loosey goosey with money. And but anyways, you know, the doom and gloom is in the air, and I have been really making the best of having gold and copper prices kind of return to these prices we haven't, you know, seen in years. I'm just like super hustling to sell all the stuff that I have been holding on to, because the cycle isn't guaranteed to just, you know, go up only. Again, it's more expensive to borrow money with interest rates the way they are. So that's less buildings that's going to be built, less infrastructure, meaning less copper, less piping, less steel, less, you know, all the way around. So I don't expect this to last too long, these prices, and why I'm busy taking off these gold fingers. You know, and again, this is not financial advice. This is just what I'm doing. I've been wrong 1,000 times before about what I thought was going to happen. And, you know, it doesn't always work out. So just got to do your best with what news and information you have and what convictions you have. But there's something in the air right now for sure, especially in kind of my circles. You know, I'm very young, 40s, and you know, I've got a lot of entrepreneur friends and people in tech, and my background's in tech and branding, and people are not spending money. Cash is king right now, and this can be very easily converted into cash. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the foreseeable future. I haven't been too active making videos, which I'm sure if you've seen other ones that I've made, I always have some kind of, oh, I'm going to do better. Not going to say it this time. I'm just going to try my best to do it when I remember to do it. But instead of making videos lately, I have been writing a book about the industry that I'll be kind of talking about a little bit more. It doesn't have a firm title right now, but right now it's backyard urban mining. I've always kind of gone with the yard miners intro, not always, but I consider that's what I am. I mean, I'm quite literally in my backyard. I'm taking material from my neighbors and my community directly, and breaking it down in my backyard. Obviously, if you live in an apartment, you probably wouldn't be able to do this, or if you have regulations in your area that for whatever reason you can't conduct business in your home, but where I live, you can. I'm not actually doing any chemicals or processing. I'm really classified as a reseller, because we resell probably 90% of everything. And what didn't get resold gets loaded into a Gaylord box, and we have our buyers come and pick it up, and they do all the recycling. So again, technically resellers is how I'm classified, and it's been great. I've got a structure of the book. I've got a lot of chapters that need figured out as far as grammatical. I probably should be hiring an editor soon. I'm at getting to that point. So yeah, I'm really excited about it. I can't wait to share it for you. I don't know if I'm going to print it out. I don't know if it's just going to be a download. I don't know if I'm going to have a community, like a paid membership, things like that. I might. I'm kind of exploring ideas. We are, my wife and I, she helps me with the business. We really thought about franchising and getting things organized that way, but the industry is one of those. It's very difficult to franchise this idea. So the next best thing is kind of teaching people how to do it for kind of a one-time fee, consulting fee, the systems, how to market yourself, how to set up a website, how to be found, by Google standards, which is everything. I've learned in this industry that technical know-how is important, and having tools and screwdrivers and space is important, but you really don't have to have any of that stuff to be profitable in eWaste or urban mining. And yes, space and tools, because you don't have to break down a single thing. You can collect, right? So the most important thing in this business is access. You have to have access to material, and it's got to be consistent access. And I happen to live in an area where I have consistent access, and I'm sure most of you also live in an area where people are very thankful. Oh, I see the balls in this one. I'm actually just gonna put it in this little guy and break that down later with my precision kit. But if you're living in Atlanta, or one of those big cities that has a huge suburbs surrounding it, you can do this. You don't have to do anything that I just did. You don't have to break down desktops. You don't have to break down laptops. You can put them in bins and ship them off to people and get a check. So even if you do have a spare bedroom as an apartment, you can collect everyone's hard drives. You can collect everyone's old laptops. You can collect everyone's TVs, flat screen TVs, whatever you want to do, whatever whatever you can find a buyer for. And you don't have to break it down or anything. You just put it in lots and have your buyers come get them. I'm going to put this away before I lose it. Got my little storage over here. I will be selling all of this again quite soon. Since prices are the way they are, you have to kind of seize the moment, and now is one of those moments. So I do have a eBay store, Franklin eWaste. You can kind of see for yourself if you see anything you like. We're putting that up. So yeah, I think I'm out of the old gold, at least that bin. There's a lot more other stuff around here, but I'm going to get another thing going and in this video early. And also when I was talking about systems and things like that, I just saw this. I even in my book go over how to make laptop sell sheets for potential buyers, and I give templates. That come when you purchase the book. You get access to all these templates. But yeah, that's what I've been busy on, and I'm really excited to share it with you. I haven't really started the marketing push yet. I had to do all the copyright stuff and get outlines done and all the little legal setting up the business and as a separate entity. I had to do all that stuff, and so now I'm gonna be introducing this baby to the world, and hopefully everyone responds to it. So I've put a lot of hard work into it. About going on 5 years of experience now, from a hobbyist to a full-grown business with employees and benefits and bonus structures and all the things that go with a healthy growing industry. So yeah, I'm super excited. Stay tuned for more, but I think that's it for now. Hope your bracket did well. If you participated in March Madness, mine fell apart instantly. I'm so bad at this stuff. I'm glad I didn't put any money on it. I haven't won bracket, March Madness, Fantasy League. I have the worst luck. Last time I had any winning season in any fantasy was Peyton Manning's rookie year. If you know what that is, that's how sad my luck is. But all right, hope you have a great one.